Hi, I'm Brenda,
Hi, I'm Dominique,
and
and
this
this
is
is
Live
Life
with the
with the
Medinas.
Medinas. So, for today's podcast, I was thinking of talking about talking to the TV.
Oh my God, yes. I talk to the TV all the time, and Mark thinks I'm crazy because I yell at the TV.
I think that's the worst, especially during scary movies when they always make the girl trip and fall like she doesn't know what she's doing.
I know. Why do they make girls look like they're such idiots? I don't know why they do that.
Like they can't just get up and run away from the person like they're about to be murdered. It's life or death, and they choose to
Yeah,
trip and fall. Come on.
give them a ninja kick or something.
Or and then they like turn slowly and like look like, oh my god, he's coming, like get
Yeah,
up and run.
yeah, do something already. Jeez.
Or the worst scary movies are when there's like a stick next to them where they fall or something and they don't pick it up and
Oh,
try to
I
like
know.
throw it. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Have you seen that commercial where they're all saying that they're looking for a place to hide, and the girls like, why don't we go in the running car? And they're thinking that's a bad idea. And I'm like, what the heck?
And they go hide behind the chainsaws. Don't they go hide behind like the
Yeah.
chainsaws?
Yeah.
And then
I
there's
crack
murderers.
up in that movie because it's like, why not listen to that girl? She's actually has a good idea.
Yep.
Run
And
in the
when
running car.
that's the worst. Or like the movie Jurassic Park, the girl who has like an all white outfit on and she's
Yeah.
running in heels. Like you're
What
running
is
from
that?
dinosaurs.
In heels. Kick those suckers off or something. It's like who runs in from a dinosaur in high heels? Chop the heel off or something.
I don't know what directors think, especially because if when I watch movies, I like try to be the director. So I'm trying to tell them what to do. I'm like, no, do this. No, run this way. No, go this way.
Yeah, I do the same thing. And Mark's like, I don't know why you do that because they can't hear you on the TV. And I'm like, that's what I do. That's just what I do.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Or what
You
about,
watch
go ahead.
have you watched Sex in the City?
Ooh, I just watched that movie like a couple days ago, but the movie.
The
What,
movie, not the series?
no, I
I
watched,
have watched every single series of Sex in the City. Were
I
you
have
watching
not,
the first movie or the second movie?
no, I haven't seen the series, but I did watch the first movie. And Brandon was playing his video games as I was watching the movie. And like some of the parts were really emotional. So I'm like sitting up in my seat or I'm like looking at the TV or I'm like, oh, how cute. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, that's a cute part. Look at what's happening. Like, look at, or like, oh, what are you doing? Come on.
Yeah. When Big proposes?
Aw. Well, they were just sitting down and I was
Yeah.
confused because I'm like, you are bigger than that and you're not going to propose romantically? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like
I love
when,
Sex in the City.
me too. Or I like the part where she goes back to the hotel or her apartment to go pick up the heels and then they like didn't choose to make it dramatic or nothing like that. They're just sitting there. I'm like, what? Come on, like make that scene a little bit better, more romantic.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good movie. I like the first one better than the second one though.
The second one I haven't seen for a while. I really want to watch it though, the second one. So
Yeah.
just because it's better fresh in your mind as you watch them back to back, because then you know what's happening throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, you need to watch it by yourself or with another girl because guys just don't understand Sex in the City at
No.
all.
Well, any movie, I feel like any romantic movie, they're like confused and lost. And I'm like, what are you doing? You could do better than that. Come on.
Yeah. Yep. I watched that movie 27 Dresses the other day.
That's
Oh
a
my
good
God, I love
movie.
that movie. It makes me cry every single time.
I know. And it's crazy to think like how many dresses she has. And she saved every single one of them. But some of them are funky. I'm like, whoa, what are
They
you
are
wearing?
funky, but you know what? My favorite part in that movie is when they get drunk in that bar and they're singing and they're singing the words all wrong. Do you ever do that? Do you ever just start singing the words all wrong?
Yes. Well, it
Oh,
depends because you're in the good mood, so you're kind of like, oh, I'm going with the flow. What's happening?
yeah, that's like that song we used to sing, that Mariah Carey song. Remember?
And that chick, and we sang it wrong for like ever. We were like, I'm that
Forever.
chicken, I'm that
Yeah,
chicken. And we're like,
yeah.
that doesn't sound right. What was Mariah Carey thinking when she
I
wrote the
know. For
song?
how many years did we say that? But we sang it that way.
I know. And then one day I like looked up the lyrics or something. It was I'm that chick, and we were like laughing because we're like, oh, we
That
were
day we
wrong.
took that drive up to Mother Cabrini, remember? We took that drive
Oh.
and I had the thing and I said, look at the title says this. And we were like, what?
Hey.
What? We've been saying it wrong for 20 years?
But we were into the song, so we weren't thinking about what the actual words are. We were like into it. We're like, oh, this is how it goes.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed that we start a conversation and then we go back and forth to so many different conversations in one?
I
We're
do. I
like,
notice. Well, and Brandon notices that because, like, I'll be talking to you on the phone and we'll be talking about something and he'll mention something. And then all of a sudden we're talking about something completely different. And then he'll
mhm.
bring up and he's like, hey, you didn't say that. And I'm like, we're not talking about that anymore. Like, we're past that. We're way past
We're way past that. Yeah, we were talking about movies and women falling down and talking to the TV.
that.
But you know what? Guys think that we're crazy that we talk to the TV, but they talk to the TV too when they're watching their sports,
Oh,
right?
sports are the worst, especially like one thing I always yell at the TV for is NBA players who make millions of dollars and they
Yeah.
don't make free throws.
Oh, that is so frustrating when they don't make the free throws. You make how much money already? Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, you're fired. Bye.
Yeah. What the heck? I
Or
don't know.
Brandon, one thing I don't understand is he gets frustrated with how much I talk during a movie, or I'm like, who's that? Who's this? What's going on? He's like, I'm watching the same movie you're watching. And I'm like, well, I want to know what's
I do
going
that
on.
too. I do that too. And Mark's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's like, come on, tell me, you know?
Or you're talking about it and you're like, why are they doing that? Why are they doing this? And he's like, why
Mhm.
are you talking so much? Just watch the
Yeah.
movie.
Just watch the movie. I couldn't tell you how many times Mark told me, just watch the movie. It's
But
like, oh,
one thing I hate is when I'm watching Brandon play video games, he's yelling at the video games. Like he's not playing live, so he's not talking to
yeah,
nobody. He was playing the video games. He's like, I shot him. I did this. I did that. What are you doing? I'm like, it's just a
yeah,
game. Settle down. Like, it's
yeah.
okay.
I know. What about that time? Was it Super Bowl? When we were watching the Super Bowl and Mark was so mad he punched the wall?
He was mad for like 3 weeks. He wouldn't talk to nobody. He was mad.
Yeah, but remember he went to the bedroom and everybody said, what happened to Mark? Is he that mad? Is he not coming back to the party? Remember that? He was mad. And they all told me that he used to throw things at the TV. Yeah, he used to throw things at the TV. And they think we're bad talking to the TV. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny. See, and that's what I don't understand is like Brandon's always making fun of me when I'm getting into the movie and I'm crying or I'm like, what is going on? Or I'm scared. He's like, what's happening? And I'm like, I don't want to watch it. Or what's gonna happen? And he's like, settle down. Like, you're good. Everything's good.
Yeah. Do you ever watch when you're watching a scary movie and sometimes I cover my eyes because I really don't want to see somebody get stabbed or something and I'm sitting there covering my eyes and Mark's like, watch the movie. And it's like, I can't, I don't want to see all that blood, you know?
I did the same thing, or like I think it's the worst when you've already seen the movie but you don't know what's gonna happen. So you're like trying to like peek and look. You're like, what's gonna
Mhm,
happen? I forgot what's gonna happen.
mhm. Yeah. Is there any movie that you've seen like more than 10 times?
More than 10 times. I've seen Baby Mama more than 10 times.
Yeah,
I
I don't
love
think.
Baby Mama. I love that movie for some reason. I think that movie is hilarious. I don't know why, but that is my favorite movie.
Yeah, Let's see. You know what I watched the other day that I've seen a lot of times was Twister.
Ooh, we used to watch Twister all the time.
Yeah. And
That is a good
sometimes you
movie.
go back and you watch some of these older movies and it's like, what the heck? I mean,
Oh,
the special effects are different than they are now, but I still love them.
well, me and Brandon were just talking about that the other day. I'm trying to think of what the movie was. Oh, Little Nicky. Have you seen Little Nicky?
Mm-mm.
Oh, so we were talking about the movie Little Nicky because there's like some really inappropriate parts in it, but I remember
Mhm.
watching it with the girls and everything, and I'm like, why would they let us watch this movie? This is inappropriate. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. Well, that's what Mark said when I took all you girls to go see the vampire movies. What was it? The Twilight movies?
Oh, the Twilight movies.
I remember when they got married and they went to the island. Mark was like, "What? You took the girls to see that?" And I'm like, "Twilight? What the heck?"
Those movies really did make me question a lot of things. Like, they were a good movie. It was like, I loved all the movies, but some of the parts I'm like, why? What is going on? What is happening? Who thought of this? Some movies make me question, like, what goes through a person's mind to
Yeah.
want it. Oh, like the Human Centipede. Like, I'm like, what was the director thinking of making this movie? I'm like, I don't know what happened, what went wrong. I'm like, no.
I don't think I've seen that movie, so I
That movie's weird. You're gonna have to watch that movie. That movie's weird.
yeah. I just remember some of the older scary movies like Tremors and stuff, and it's like compared to the movies now, they're just so different.
You could tell Trimmers is so fake. And then you watch new scary movies like the It movie. Have you seen the new It movie?
Mm-mm.
You haven't seen the new It movie? Oh my goodness, that movie kind of, well, it's not scary, but some of the parts, like in scary movies now, it makes it look so realistic. Like if an arm gets chopped off, like in old scary movies, it would like you would tell it's so fake, but like in new scary movies, you're like, what the heck is going on?
I know. It's crazy. Things have sure changed.
Mm-hmm.
Movies. Do you think our audience, do you think we're the only ones that talk to the TV, or do you think other people like in our audience talk to the TV?
I know I'm not, I know our family, like
Girl
grandma,
thing?
what?
Could it just be a girl thing?
I was gonna say, like, I know grandma and like Laura and Victoria, I know all of them talk to the TV, but they're all girls.
Yeah.
So I guess it just depends because I know guys yell at the TV for no reason. So they talk to the TV. They may not admit it, but they're yelling at the TV or they're trying to tell the coach what to do or put this
Yeah.
player in.
Yeah. The only time I ever see Mark really talk to the TV is when it's sports. I don't really see him talk to the TV when it's a movie.
So then maybe it just depends because Brandon doesn't talk to the TV unless it's like sports or his video games. But I talk to the TV and I know you talk to the TV and I know grandma used to talk to the TV all the time and Laura and Victoria and we all talk to it. So maybe it's just a girl thing with talking.
Maybe. I remember one time when Victoria was young, we went to the movie theater. It was just me and her. And I cannot remember what movie we were watching, but I was laughing hysterically in there. Victoria says, Brenda, you're like laughing so loud in the theater. And I'm like, I don't care. It's a funny movie. And you know what? 5 minutes later, she's laughing right along with me. It's like, if I'm going to laugh, I'm going to laugh. I don't care.
Do you remember when we went to go see that Jennifer Lopez movie with and she was a stripper?
Yeah. Hustle.
We kept hustle, yeah, we kept talking the whole movie and Brandon was like, shh, be quiet, what are you doing? Shh, like stop talking. I'm like, we're talking together, like, hey.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like you have to talk during a movie. Like you have to talk about what's happening, what's going on, or what's gonna happen, or like even guessing it. You're like, I think this is gonna happen. Like especially because some movies you can predict it, some movies you can't. You're like, ooh, that was a good twist.
Yeah. Yep. Gotta talk to the movies.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's the worst when you're watching a movie and like Brandon always falls asleep when we watch movies. So I can never like I find myself talking to myself, talking
Yeah,
to the
Mark does
TV.
the same thing. It's like he doesn't keep his interest or something.
Yeah.
And then he always says, "We never saw that movie," and I'm like, "Yeah, we did, but you fell asleep." Like, gee,
And then you're sitting there talking to the TV by yourself, or like, have you ever like jumped up, or you're like, oh my God, or you make a sound and they're like, what are you doing? Like, I'm sleeping or something. You're like, sorry to interrupt. You're supposed to watch this with me.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes Mark will wake up and I'll be like, "What's that sound?" And I'll be like, "What's the TV?" He thinks somebody's breaking in the house or something.
Oh my goodness, it's so funny.
Yeah. Okay. What should we do now?
I don't know. I think we need to ask our audience what their opinion is on talking to the TV and get kind of feedback from them on stories or things that they've went through with talking to the TV or things they don't understand or things like that.
Yeah, I'd like to hear a funny story from somebody else and know that we're not the only nuts out there, you know?
It's not just a Medina thing.
Could be, though. Could be the life with the Medinas.
Exactly. Well, you can email, comment, anything like that. Let's hear stories, and then maybe our next podcast we could talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Well, I'm Dominique.
And I'm Brenda.
And Life with the Medinas.